Say what?
You're good whenever you want.
Hello everybody, I'm Alan Baker, winemaker for Cartograph Wines in Healdsburg, and we are starting a new event where every Friday we're going to open a library wine and have it available in the tasting room, and it'll be available on the web as well if you see this from afar and can't stop by on Fridays. And this inaugural wine is the 2012 Pinot Noir from a vineyard called Leonardo Julio. And this vineyard is on West Side Road in near Healdsburg, outside of Healdsburg in the Russian River Valley. And it was owned by one of the Gallo family, and the Leonardo Julio is for her grandfather, and Leonardo is his grandfather. So that's how they came up with the name. And for any nerds out there that want to know clones, this is composed of 1A, 2A, 115, 667, 777, and Pommard. So this is definitely a vineyard that was planted by a winemaker, not a grower, because it's a pain to get everything ripe at the same time, with just a few rows of all of these different clones. So, but what you get in the glass is a really complex and beautiful wine. And what you notice right out of the gate on this is it's got a really beautiful kind of ruby core, but you're just starting to get some brickish color around the edge, which is an indication that it's an aged wine. But for a wine that is, 8 years old, it's still quite youthful and a lot of fun to drink. It's really got some really lovely aromatics, and the overall impression is soft and round. For an 8-year-old wine, it's really incredibly fresh as well. Oh, rose petal, fresh turned soil, cigar box, little cedar, and even a little bit of geranium on it, like a little vegetal note, which I think a lot of people often think geranium is a flaw in a wine. Just this teeny little bit, I think, adds a little bit of spice, and I kind of like it right now. And I know there's a lot of jargon to some of these notes, and I will just admit that I am a person that when I sit down to kind of assess a wine and maybe even take some notes, sometimes I just write Pinot in all caps and walk off, because these wines, as they age, they integrate and they become more harmonious, and they turn into a completely different animal than they were when they were young. And you could identify all the different fruits and aromatics and flavors. They really just come together, and a really fine Pinot is its own thing. So sometimes you just need to take your time, enjoy the wine, let it wash over you, don't overthink it. And that's what I would say with this wine. 2012 Leonardo Julio Pinot. And our Pinots build palate weight as they age, and this one has definitely done that. I wouldn't say it's heavy, but on the palate, it's kind of broad on the palate, where the nose was more subtle and lifted. This gives you a nice broad palate. It's not heavy on the palate, but it definitely is round and full. And it's definitely Russian River Valley. Bing cherry, mushroom. This wine would be an absolute delight with the mushroom risotto, which is on our website, cartographwines.com, if you want to look up a beautiful pairing for any Pinot that has good mushroom and earthy notes. And a lot of people don't have either the time, or the space or the refrigeration capacity to age wines for this amount of time. So we really wanted to start this weekly feature because I think having a perfectly aged Pinot is kind of a revelation for a lot of people who have been mostly drinking them younger and fruitier. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you like them, drink them young. That's why Pinot is such a beautiful thing. I'd say, this probably has another couple of years while it's at this kind of peak integration level before it starts to shift into more really earthy, kind of woodsy notes. But one of the things that you get, I'm tasting this and I'm realizing that it's round and it's a little bit lush, but it also has really good mouth-watering acid. And that's one of the things that I find in wines that are made in our style, a little bit racy, a little bit kind of angular when they're young, is that higher acidity really gives them kind of staying power in the bottle. So while they build some palate weight, they remain mouth-watering and luscious on the palate. So that's one of the things that I love about wines that are made in that racy style, is they age really, really well. So just to wrap up, I would say that this is a complex wine, but it's not a complicated wine. So there's a lot of complexity and nuance in there, but it's just absolutely lovely to sip on right now. So if you're able to stop by the tasting room in Healdsburg, cartographwines.com. If not, we will have this bottle open today in the tasting room, and it is available on the website. So I will see you next Friday. I'm Alan Baker with Cartograph. Thank you for your time.